Welcome to In Life Now Radio with Teresa M. Blakely, being brought to you by Brent Gears and Gears Law. Estate planning is an essential part of your financial portfolio. It's not just for the wealthy. Call Brent Gears with Gears Law at 616-965-6864. That's 616-965-6864 or online at gearslaw.com. Good afternoon, Grand Rapids. Thank you so much for tuning in to Magic 104.9, your number one urban radio station here in West Michigan. You're in the 2 o'clock hour, so you know it's time for In Life Now Radio with your host, Teresa M. Blakely. And family, you all know I'm excited every week that we come on the air. But today I'm like ready to fly off my seat because I finally have Rise and Grinds in the building with its general manager, Shay Johnson, and one of their lead barista, leader in training, Stacia Rodriguez. So for those of you who have had an opportunity to get over to the corner of 1167 Madison, I know you know all about Rise and Grinds. And for those of you who have not had a chance to visit, I promise you after today, I think Shay and Stacia will have some new visitors. So let's welcome them into the show. How y'all doing?
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. How you doing, Stacia?
Good. Hello, world.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. So listen, Rise and Grinds is this wonderful cafe that is, as I just mentioned, over on Madison, 1167 Madison. And I had an opportunity to talk to one of your partners a few weeks ago, Justin Bean. But listen, before we get real serious and talk about the business of Rise and Grinds and how you all are impacting the community, take a moment, talk to West Michigan, Shay and Stacia, and just introduce yourself to everybody and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Shay Johnson. I am the general manager of the cafe, and I got connected to Rise and Grinds in the summer of 2016, right before the cafe was getting ready to launch at that time. So I came aboard as the trainer and manager to kind of structure and facilitate some really good training in food service and coffee preparation. Built a really good partnership with Ferris Coffee here in Grand Rapids, and just kind of led the charge, I guess, in launching the cafe at our current location on Madison and Hall.
Okay. Miss Stacia? Well, tell us a little bit about you. There's so much to tell. I know there is.
Well, I started off at the Center for Transformation. I've been with them for 2 years now, and that's how I started to become a part of the cafe. It was way back when they opened previously at the Center, and now I was able to become one of the team leaders at the cafe right now on Madison.
Okay. So let's paint the picture, Shay. People are driving in their cars, or they're listening online, or they might even have the Magic app downloaded to their phones, and they got, they're tuned, they're plugged in, right? But we're hearing Center for Transformation, or the Grand Rapids Center for Transformation. I missed a word in there.
It's a mouthful.
Yes. But for those folks who might not know what that is, could you talk for a minute about that organization?
Yeah, so the Grand Rapids Center for Community Transformation
Thank you.
is a partnership. And what the partnership really is a movement of current businesses and organizations in the Madison Square area that are focused on transforming communities. And so like that partnership is Bethany Christian Services Youth Services Department, Double O Supply, which is a windows and construction company, and then our two social enterprises, which are Building Bridges Professional Services, it's a landscaping company, and now Rising Grinds Cafe.
Okay. Now, okay, so we have these two entities that have been birthed out of the Center for Community Transformation. Mm-hmm. What is the significance of the center? Because, when I had an opportunity to talk to its director and founder a few weeks ago, Justin Bean, I was just amazed at all of the things that I was finding out about the organization.
Mm-hmm. So really the center as it is, as a physical structure, houses a lot of youth development programming.
Okay, come on.
So what we do there is we do a lot of job readiness programs, GED, life skills training, vocational training, things of that nature, job placement, a lot of supportive services, career services with our case managers.
Okay.
There's programs for youth aging out of foster care, things like that. And that's the Bethany side. That's the programming side, right? Now, the enterprises are connected to that, and that they are local businesses in the neighborhood that connect to the youth that might go through those programs and then provide them training and opportunities maybe after they've gotten their GED or kind of the next level.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
I love your energy. I wish y'all were in the studio with me because, she's on fire.
Oh my gosh.
So, Stacia, job skills training and coaching and all kinds of things are happening over at the center. While you were there, during your tenure there, how do you think that experience prepared you for where you are right now at Rising Grinds as a lead barista who possibly is headed into management one day soon?
Yeah, they gave me a lot of support, a lot of motivation that, a lot of my family didn't give me. So they were there to tell me that I can do it and that I'm doing great at it. So, yeah.
Shay, in your experience, or since you've been with, or since Rising Grinds has officially been open, what are you seeing happening with the young folks who are part of the team? Now that they're over at Rising Grinds and out of the center, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So many things, so many things that we're seeing with this team, and it's really been just amazing to be a part of. And so we started in November, and we started with 5 youth staff who all came out of the center. We refer to them as students of the center, right? Members of this organization. Okay. Very little experience, mostly had none experience at all. All 5 are now currently hired into the cafe. So we have retained them since November, trained them all up, added a new student to our team. But now it's just been beautiful to watch them all grow into leaders, right? So they came in as students, but now they are leaders and they get to guide the next pack through. And that's, for me, that's where the joy comes from, is watching them take the reins. And I feel like the model of the cafe is to almost divide up managerial responsibilities, right? I'm trying to piece it all together. Managerial stuff doesn't have to exist with one person. Let's give Stacia an account and she does the ordering for that account. Let's encourage our cooks and folks in the back of the house to create new menu items and specials. Let's have folks who are interested in creating new coffee drinks bring that to the table. So really harvesting everybody's own gifts and talents and to watch them blossom in the environment of the cafe.
I love your response. Rising Grinds Cafe has been and will continue to be a space representing resilience, growth, and community. With that being said, Stacia, how do you see yourself now that you're inside of Rising Grinds and you're doing what you're doing?
I'm truly proud of myself. I've come a long way.
That's right.
Absolutely. And I hear that you've been stretched a little bit. partnerships are being created through you taking the lead. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I just finished up with the Surf Safe Food and Safety Managerial. I did that through Kitchen Sage.
Okay.
So while I was there, I noticed that they needed coffee and we needed pastry. So I created the partnership, and now I'm being trained by Chef Karen to make freshly baked pastries from scratch. And then that'll be about 6 more weeks. And then I could go back to the cafe and train some of my team members.
How does that make you feel to know that you were able to make a difference and also an impact within the organization by just taking the lead on something? It's not small, so don't take that in the wrong way. But by just taking the lead with something like that,
it feels amazing to be able to give back to the people who gave me so much.
You know what? That's rich. I want you to do something for me because I really feel that you are a powerful young lady. You have the ear of West Michigan right now, and there are a ton of young ladies just like you in the neighborhood. I'm sure there's a story behind this strong presence that's before me today. But I want you to just take a moment and talk to those girls or those young ladies and those young men, for that matter, who are in circumstances that seem like, you know what, I'm not going to ever get out of this, or they have a dream of doing whatever, and they're like, I don't know how that's going to happen. What would you say to them?
Anything is possible. I didn't know where I was going, so I kind of just looked for resources, and that's where I found the center. And it brought me a long way. You're worthy no matter what.
Oh, that's rich.
You can do anything if you put your heart out to it. Just listen to the universe and it will take you where you need to go.
Ooh. What do you do when you hear something like that, Shay? It's like, OMG.
I get this girl in front of a microphone, get her in front of an audience.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the dream. That's the goal.
I would say. So as you all begin to just really hone into the business of Rise and Grinds, talk to West Michigan about what they can expect when they walk through the doors.
Ooh, I don't know. Stacia, what should they expect when people first walk in? What do you see as you're working, behind the coffee counter and taking orders? Like, what do you notice, like, when people walk in?
They feel comfortable. They feel welcome. They feel a part of the community.
Yep. Okay. And all of that's intentional.
It's intentional.
Being a new business.
Talk about that.
Yeah, being a new business on the southeast side of Grand Rapids. We're in a really interesting crossroads section of the community right there. A part of the community that may have felt neglected in the past. We're coming in as a new business, new ideas, new menu items. We want to make sure, it is our biggest goal and passion at the cafe, is to make sure that every single person who enters our doors, whether they are neighbors, they live across the street, they live up the block, or if they're coming into town to work from an outside community, or whether they're driving past to get to work on some other part of town, every single one of those people feels welcome, feels valued, feels heard, feels like they belong at our table, and like that they can come in and interact with us in a way and interact with each other. So really the vision for the cafe is cultivating community and creativity. That's our mission, right? And so bringing these people together that maybe otherwise would have never crossed paths. We're seeing some really beautiful things happening there. And the space is cozy. It's small.
It is.
So, and at first we were kind of like, oh man, is this going to work? But it is, almost because like just in the building alone, there's intimacy. Like if you're sitting there, you're going to be within earshot of somebody who's sitting right next to you, and conversations are overheard. Questions are being asked. Sometimes you got to pat somebody on the back to scooch around them. There is that intimacy and that community that's just being nurtured in the space. That's what we want to bring.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just turned on the radio, I want to say thank you so much. This is your host of In Life Now Radio, Teresa M. Blakely, a.k.a. Coach TMB. Thank you so much for turning on Magic 104.9, your number one urban radio station here in West Michigan. We're talking to Shay Johnson and Stacia Rodriguez, who are a part of the team at Rising Grinds, which is located right here in the heart of the city. They're over there somewhere around Madison and what?
Madison and Hall.
Okay, talk to us.
In the link space.
In the link space. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I think floor. A lot of people know about link.
Yeah.
So Rising Grinds is all about cultivating creativity and community with every cup served. I love that. So I want you to just highlight now for a few moments, what does the menu look like? What are you serving over there at Rising Grinds?
What do you think, Stacia?
So we have a full breakfast menu,
okay,
which includes our special, a 6 for $6. You can have 2 eggs, 2 pieces of meat, 2 pieces of bread.
Somebody hungry right now.
For $6.
We have chicken and waffles.
Fried chicken and waffles.
A full breakfast menu, and then we have lunch items such as sandwiches, salads, soup of the day. By Robert, our chef Robert,
mm-hmm.
who makes them from scratch most of the time. So you have to come in and ask for which soup we have for that day.
Okay.
And then we have all of our specialty drinks, lattes, and such. And then we added smoothies to our menu.
You have smoothies on the menu now?
Yes. And then in the future, we will be having ice cream machine. So come and check us out.
Oh, so that's going to be the spot in the summertime then.
For sure. Soft serve.
Soft serve. Okay. Are you all vegan friendly? Plant-based lifestyle, eating friendly?
Yeah, so I mean, we have a couple urban roots.
Okay.
And so we've been talking a lot and dreaming a lot with those folks over there about how can we introduce more plant-based meals into our menu. And so this summer, I guarantee we've got some stuff up our sleeves that will really kind of like engage in those, in those folks, providing them more options.
Okay.
For healthy eating.
For healthy eating, yes. Because a lot of us are trying to get healthy. Yeah. Again.
Yeah. And also just supporting them.
Absolutely.
They've been one of our greatest partners. They take all of our coffee waste and egg waste and compost it. So I'm just really excited about the idea of our spent coffee beans being put in the earth and growing this food that we then serve again at our table. Like, I love that full circle picture coming back. So
now that's partnership right there.
That is partnership. Yeah.
And I think that kind of goes back to the core of why the Center for Community Transformation is around, right?
Bingo, yeah.
Yeah. So you all are teaching, correct me if I'm wrong, but the students are gaining job readiness skills, life skills, things of that nature? Yeah, so, formally, the center does have a lot of classroom-based learning opportunities, right? So trainings. The Youth Build program, which is one of the biggest programs run through the center, does GED prep, life skills prep, and construction training where they can earn a PACT certification. But, through the cafe, we're doing all of those things, but in like an organic way, through our relationships that we have with each other and with the members of the community. I love it. Community, that's a great place to put a period. So as the patrons are coming in and doing business with you all, what is the feedback that you all are getting since you've been there? What do you think, Stacia?
And we have great food, great communication.
She just exudes this quiet confidence. So they're saying there's great food. What else are they saying?
They love all of us workers.
Okay.
They do. I've heard numerous times, almost like countless times, people will come into the cafe and I'll be chatting them up, and they'll just say, I don't know what it is, but there is something about this space. It's just something, and they almost can't even describe it. And I think it's a combination of a lot of different things, but I would almost wholeheartedly give the credit to the staff who are just I mean, they bend over backwards for anyone. You know, we've got our special groups of return customers that we reserve seats for.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
You know, we kind of do these, little accommodations for people and make sure they know they're welcome.
Treatment.
Right? VIP treatment, right? We've got a gentleman who comes in every Wednesday. Vincent just earned our first ever customer of the month. We're going to highlight a community member every month. And Vincent comes in every Wednesday with his chessboard and invites anybody to come play chess with him. And it's just
cool
like a really beautiful image, and that is absolutely the embodiment of the mission of the cafe.
Yeah,
bringing folks together.
Now that's really about community right there. I love that little twist.
Yeah, totally. But I would say the feedback is positive. Of course, there is always room for improvement.
Of course,
all of us at the cafe are learning and growing.
Oh,
every single one of us is like, none of us are like professionals. None of us are really an expert in anything. We are all just doing our best and pouring our heart into something that like fulfills us and and that we feel is important and needed in our community. So, with that, we got a few shortcomings. Like, we are definitely feeling our growing pains. Like, we're working stuff out as far as like our service side. But I think our heart is there and the heartbeat is heard. Yeah.
Well, life is all about learning the lessons, and you get a lot of lessons when you're running business too. So we totally understand it.
Yeah,
we totally understand it.
Yeah.
So listen, it's almost time for us to bring this show to a close. I really don't want to, but I got to be respectful of your time. So why don't you let West Michigan know where can they go online and physically so they can experience Rise and Grinds?
Sure. So we invite you to come to our table at 1167 Madison.
I like how you said that.
I mean, that's our tagline.
We invite you to come to our table. Yes, come on.
Come to the table. We're in the bottom of the Link building there, but you could also visit us. We're at rgcafe.org. We have a Facebook page, which is linked to our Instagram page. You could also visit the Grand Rapids Center for Community Transformation.
Of course.
And that's at 1530 Madison, right down the street. And then the center's website is grcct.com.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, Shay and Stacia, I personally want to just say thank you so much for coming to hang out with me for a little bit. It's been a pleasure. And
thank you for supporting the cafe.
Absolutely, and I won't stop.
Well, we'll see you soon then.
Yes. All right, folks, we got to take a break, but we'll be back in a few minutes.